Welcome back to the Goonerverse. We've got another player ratings. It's not going to be a fun one, let's be really honest, but let's stick around. Let's make this a good, fun community chat, and you can tell me what you thought of the players and how they did today. As usual, we do it via this. Let's make it a bit smaller. The tactical pad, not the tactical pad, the JLA tactics board. I am tired. You know what? That Liverpool performance really sapped a lot of energy out of me. As you can see, from brilliant to very good to good to not great to poor, we're going to rate all the players. I don't think anyone had made the brilliant, or dare I say even very good category. But we'll see what you all think in the comment section in the live chat. Comment section below if you're watching this a little bit later today. I want all your thoughts on how the players did. Just before we go into it, I just want to say something. I was critical of Gabriel Martinelli. I tweeted about it, and I was critical also in my match reaction on the Goonerverse. I've talked about it a little bit on the Goonerverse podcast, which comes out tomorrow. Sharoy and I have already recorded that after the game. That's out in the morning, or near enough midday. I also called out Gary Neville and some of his commentary on the Goonerverse podcast, so I won't talk about that now. But I just want to say the admiration I have for Dominic Szoboszlai and Arne Slot for the way they've come out and spoken on that Gabriel Martinelli incident, pushing Conor Bradley off the pitch when he's then shortly after stretchered off because the injury he had was genuine. I think the way Arne Slot said that he thinks Martinelli's a good guy, that if he knew the extent of the injury, he wouldn't do it, but also that the time wasting of football means that players are basically hardwired to not really believe anyone is actually injured because the amount players go down and waste time and whatever. I thought his answer was brilliant. Gary Neville went off on some comments I don't agree with. Roy Keane, I think, from some brief quotes I've seen, seems to have added to it. And all that's being talked about is what a disgrace Gabriel Martinelli is for what he did. I think Arsenal, as a team, as a collective, lost their heads tonight. And I think that Gabriel Martinelli incident was the worst. In many incidences, that showed Arsenal to have not really, been on the right side of things mentally for most of that 90 minutes, if I'm really honest. He's messed up. He's got it massively wrong. We've all been critical. But my admiration goes out to Szoboszlai and Slot for the way that they've spoken about it, rather than pour more fuel on a fire that some people are clearly trying to keep burning. But I also understand that Martinelli is going to get a lot of criticism for that. I've been critical myself because it wasn't a good moment from him. So I just wanted to touch on that. So the quotes that have come out since, I think, have been largely well handled by all involved. Those who are actually involved in the heat of the game, not people on the touchline who want to go big because there was maybe nothing else to speak about. But that's not to say that, like I said, Martinelli shouldn't be called out for what was a bad moment for him. All right. Do you guys have anything to say on that in the comments? I don't think you do. No, I don't think there is. But we are going to remove people from the chat who are spamming. So apologies for that. Okay. You're going to be putting a timeout if you're spamming the chat, people. Yeah, sorry. You just are. Like, let's just keep the comments and everything on topic with everything that we are discussing here in the live. Okay, let's go to the tactical pad. I'm just going to fly into it with some players. David Raya, what would you rate him? I thought Raya was not great. I nearly put him in poor. Do you know what saves him? Then what saves him is I can only imagine the reason he went long so often was instruction. Like he must have been told. But I don't think his passing was great, and I don't mean his execution, but more his pass choices. Having said that, I can't really remember any great passes he played long. There was that incident with Saliba, then he tells Saliba that he needs to communicate better, but Raya's got the better view of the pitch. He can see that Saliba's dealing with it and he should sit back. He nearly gets lobbed again from that situation because he sort of stands in no man's land at that point rather than rush back to his goal line. Look, I don't think he did anything massively wrong, but I don't think Raya was good today, if I'm really, really honest. I think he's quite fortunate to come away with a clean sheet. And interesting again, Arne Slot, some great quotes. Do you know I was on Drifty's channel, big Liverpool fan, obviously does Coppish, and I was really kind of going in on Arne Slot for his communication and what the kind of things he's been saying in press conferences recently. But I actually think, like I said, the Martinelli thing he handled brilliantly. But also he said, I'm not sure why people think this was a great performance from Liverpool. We didn't ask any questions of them. And like that, yeah, that's all. I like that from Arne Slot. I think while Liverpool played well, I like that. If I were a Liverpool fan, I think that's a good mentality to have, and standard to uphold for the club. I don't think either team should be massively proud of what they did tonight, but Liverpool by far the happier of the two teams. Okay, so I said he was not great, and some of you agree, some of you saying poor, but we'll move on to the next one. Timber. I'm going to put him down as good, people. I don't think he ever got beaten by Gakpo in any significant way. I think he defended well. And I also think he was basically, him and Saka were our biggest attacking threats. That ball that Zubimendi plays over the top, that Timber makes the run, takes the touch, and then swivels and rolls it out to Madueke immediately is brilliant. It was probably the best piece of final third quality we saw all game outside of that dribble from Saka in the first half. He was far from his best, Timber, don't get me wrong. I don't think he had a great game at all, but I thought he was good. Never beaten defensively, made some good tackles. There's definitely some moments on the ball that I still wish he'd do better, but he had to dig out some, some decent crosses from a slippery surface, some overhit passes, and he actually did well to thread the ball in with some degree of threat. He wasn't amazing, but I'm happy with good. Some of you are saying he was very good, says family hairstyle. Others saying he was fine, nothing, going forward, but oh well, says boy. Timber, one of the best, which doesn't say much, says Moritz. Yeah, I think we agree. Football Mamba says, James, this was awful. I don't know what to say. Timber was good as usual. Glad you agree with that. Okay, cool. Okay, William Saliba. Can I do Saliba and Gabriel together? If I judge them on the first 20 minutes, I'd have had them here. If I had them on the first 20 minutes, I thought they were dominating aerially, they were decent in possession, they were defending well. By the end of the game, I thought this. I don't think they did anything special throughout the game. I thought they started well and had a decent platform, but no, I didn't love their performance at all. And I don't know what it was. I mean, Saliba had that moment with Raya. Maybe I'm overreading that one. I don't think either of them were particularly brave in possession, but I think that's true of the whole team. I don't think they stepped onto Wirtz and Szoboszlai enough and really were really aggressive by squeezing the pitch for us. Again, that could be instruction. I think a lot of the reasons I'm annoyed at Raya, Saliba and Gabriel could be put down to instruction. I just didn't think they were great. Gabriel misses a big chance at the end of the game, and when all is said and done, I think if he connects with that better, that's maybe going in the back of the net. But I mean, Alisson is there too. Do any of you disagree with this? Moritz says Saliba nervy in the first half. Junior says Saliba was good, Gabby was poor. Think it's half, they had no midfield in front of them. Yeah, that's true, but we praise them for being good on the ball. This is when you show it. There's no midfield in front, so step forward. I think there were opportunities they could have driven forward and they didn't. Saliba did some good. You know what? I'll say this. Saliba actually, I'm probably being a bit harsh on Saliba. In fact, tell me in the comments, did Saliba play some of those through balls to Timber? He did in the first half, right? I think I'm happy to move Saliba up maybe to good, because I actually do think he played some creative pass in that first half, to be fair to him. Yeah, I think I'm happy to do that. They were great in the first half, decent in the second, says King. Saliba was doing better than some of our attackers, I have to be honest. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, a lot of you agreeing with me. Cool. I'll go with that. He definitely did. He definitely played some passes, Saliba, in that first half that, to be fair, I'm giving him enough credit for. So yeah, I'm happy to say that. You can tell I'm in a bad mood with the players, but let's try and be as fair and objective as possible. Cool. Okay. Hincapie. Ooh. Not great. Nothing in terms of an attacking outlet. Some people are saying that they wish there was an average category. I'll be honest, not great is kind of I don't think you can say someone was just average. In my opinion, I think, but did they play well? Are we saying they're good, or did they basically not give enough? Average does fall into that not great category a little bit for me. I think Hincapie did some decent defending on the edge of his box. Actually, I thought defensively we looked way weaker when he came off. I think defensively he was actually good, but on the ball, just not enough. Never an overlapping threat, never combined well with Trossard, never secure enough in possession. Yeah, I actually think he moves quite well at left back, but I thought he looked quite I don't know, wooden today. Do you know what I mean? Like I just didn't love him today. He did go off injured as well, which is a shame. Bless him. Not great, but Lewis-Skelly had a Hall of Shame cameo, says Pedro, and yeah, he wasn't great. Going forward, Calafiori gives us more. I agree. He's better than Lewis-Skelly. None were good. None, says John. He looked quite robust. I agree with that, Michael. Defensively, he did. I'll stick with not great. I'll sort of sit with that. I miss Calafiori a lot, says L. Says L. Perdidor. Okay. Zubimendi. Zubimendi. Because the thing is, I think Zubimendi had some really good moments. I thought some of his tackling and winning the ball back in the first half was great. And I thought that pass over the top to Timber, that really should have led to something, more of a chance than it came to, I thought was great. But other than that, he wasn't really too involved. I'm going to give Zubimendi good. I think he was quite good today. What do you all think? Poor, meh, not great, not great. Zubi, meh, poor, not great. Okay, none of you think he was good. So maybe I've been overruled today. Zubimendi, not great, I'm sorry. He was okay. Zubi was okay. Certainly not poor, says Neo Semper. Zubi, not great. Zubi, meh. He was average. Zubi, good, but bordering not great. Yeah, I think I agree with that, Chemist. Like, I think basically we won't do this, but if I could put him here, I would. Because he ultimately, in a game that had so little quality, actually showed a bit of quality and did some good defensive work, I'm going to stick with that. I'm happy to give him that. Okay. Rice. Do you know what I struggle with? Because I think Rice was good. I think he made some things happen. I think he made some big tackles in that second half when we were being overrun. But how can I say that Zubimendi and Rice were good when we got overrun in midfield in that second half? But is that necessarily their fault? I'll tell you what, everyone. They're both going to come down. Sorry. I think they're both going to come down. Even though there's some justification for Zubimendi being good and Rice did some okay things, I don't think either of them were good. I think with Timber and Saliba, there were some more noticeable moments of quality. And Zubimendi and Rice, I think, showed one or two each, but it just wasn't enough. We got overrun by a pretty lightweight midfield. I appreciate McAllister gets about. I appreciate Gravenberch is a physically good player, but yeah, I just don't think they should have been overrun the way they were in that second half. But that could have been a tactical thing too. Cool. I think I'm going to sit with that then. A lot of you agreeing. Okay, Odegaard. Oh, I'm so sorry, Martin. I'm not trying to pile on, but I don't think I think he was poor. I think he does land in the poor category. Not one creative pass, not one through ball, not one shimmy away from a player, not one drive, not one. It wasn't, we didn't press well, and we always keep praising him for the press rights, and we don't press well. We've got to look at him too. Yeah, I thought he was poor. A lot of you agreeing. Far from it. Far from the Odegaard that we've come to expect in the last few weeks, and really since he's returned from injury at the end of November, where I think he's been so much better and showed some of his class. Today, it wasn't it for him. That's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'd still start him next league game or next important game, which is probably actually going to be Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. Although, again, in that game, he'll probably play Eze. I'd like to see Waneri played. I think Waneri deserves more minutes. But yeah, we will agree he was poor. A lot of you in the chat are agreeing with it too. Cool. Some people calling him Odegaard. You lot are creative. Fair enough. Okay, Saka. Good. I say good because if I'm so honest with you all, so I'm trying to space these players out, but it's really annoying the size of their names. Okay. Saka I'm putting in good. Only because that first half, if we ever looked like doing something, it was him. Best crosses came from him. Destroying the fullback came from him. The only moment we actually got him behind and through Liverpool centrally came from him. Second half, he fell way off. And there was quite a lazy kind of leg out at Gyokeres, which feeds into everything I was saying about us kind of losing our heads throughout the game. But other than that, like, he undoubtedly showed moments of quality. So, yeah, I thought Saka was good. Second half terrible, says J Webb. I agree. Good first half, but locked up second half. I think it'd be fair to say that he was not great in the second half, but he was very good in the first half. Like, everything was happening through Saka in that first half. Yeah, a lot of you agreeing he was good, ultimately. When you take the full 90, Saka was our best player, says Keraskeen. Cool. Saka was our best player today, says Lols. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Okay. All right. Leandro Trossard. Ooh. I'm going to drop him here for a sec. You can all let me know in the comment section below. You're going to decide Trossard. Let me make a case for each, because I think he's somewhere between good and not great. He was good because he beat the fullback once, maybe twice, and did quite well with that. He worked hard off the ball. He then dribbled kind of basically through the heart of Liverpool. And if Zubimendi doesn't take the ball off him, like off that pass he played, then it's falling to Saka and we might score in that second half. So again, while I praise Saka for saying everything went through him, you could basically say one or two of our best moments came through Trossard, or that's kind of all he gave. You could say it wasn't great, though, because the yellow card was lazy. He then nearly gives away a penalty. I think on another day a referee might give that as a pen, but I think they're probably right not to. He just had a bit of a temperament about him I didn't love today. He looked a bit wound up. And ultimately comes off because he wasn't having a big enough impact. So where would you land on Trossard then? Where would you land on him? Meh, good moments, but overall not great. That was from Arav Shah. Trossard had moments, but still not great, says Football Mamba. He was not good, says the Gambian. Apart from Trossard, all of Arsenal attackers are regressing, says Jam. Not great overall, but he had that one moment to my recollection. A lot of you saying he was poor. Cool. We'll agree on not great then. I'm happy to go not great. I think Saka ultimately showed a bit more. But there's not a lot in it. Like, I could easily drop Saka one. I could easily put Trossard up one. I could easily drop Saliba down one. Rice and Zubimendi. Like, everyone in this kind of category here, there's nothing really to write home about here. If I'm honest. Gyokeres. He was poor tonight, wasn't he? Not once did he say, give me the ball, I'll roll a defender, I'll win a foul, chuck it over the top, and I'm going to make a run and see if I can stretch it. Let me pull out wide, see if I can pull Van Dijk or Konate with me. Let me just be a wall pass so you can play through me because they're doubling up out wide. Just at no point did Gyokeres ever do anything. Except for one moment. That was actually really good. It was when he drifted to the right, and then he just shimmied and played a lovely little ball on the underlap to Timber. I thought that was neat. And that was it. That's all we got from Gyokeres. One touch, I think, in the second half. Now, Jesus wasn't great, but at least he did something. Now, forgive me a second, people. I just need to make all the players a little bit... I need to make the players a bit smaller so we can fit everyone. Forgive me. Let me know your thoughts on Gyokeres. I know what you're all going to say. Yeah. There we go. I made them all too big. That's much better size, isn't it? Cool. What are you all saying about Gyokeres then? Is that a bit too small, people? Is that okay? Let me know. Wales Gyokeres on that cross from Saka in the first half. Yeah, and there was another from Rice, I think, in the second half. Like, where is he? Wow, some people calling him worst player in the league. That's tough. That's tough. Flick to Hincapie. Actually, that's true. That was a nice flick in the second half, but that's about it. He needs to get on the end of his cross. His timing is terrible. Yeah. Yeah, you're all going in on him, and fair enough. We've missed Havertz badly in this game. Havertz is very quickly going to win his place back the way Jesus and Gyokeres are showing inconsistencies. Okay, the bench. Lewis-Skelly came on first. I'm going to say not great. I think a lot of you would want me to put him in the poor category. And I think he was for that first 20 minutes. I actually think for the last 10, 15, I actually think he got his act together and did okay and tried to make things happen. I'm probably being a bit kind. In fact, I know I'm being a bit kind. But I'm just going to go not great. What do you all think? A lot of you are saying poor, horrible, poor, 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 MLS poor. Damn, you're killing him. Alright. Well, I've been overruled. If you've all said poor and I'm the only one who's saying not great and no one else thinks I might have a point, then we'll just go with that. Okay. A lot of you saying it was a disaster. He did play badly, I agree. I maintain I think he got a little bit better in that last 10-15, but yeah, fine. Cool. Martinelli. Gotta say poor. And it's more because of the going down in the penalty area when he's not been fouled. It's more the pushing Conor Bradley off. It's more the decision making. Like even when he was offside, he like whipped the ball in like it was like a high ball over the top rather than just rolling it across goal. And he's offside from that. I think that was Lewis-Skelly who made that happen, or was it Jesus? A lot of you saying not great. Some of you saying he was disgraceful. Clueless. Wow. Yeah. And I think I'm happy to put him in poor because I think I'm going to put Jesus in not great. Now, for all Jesus had some really frustrating moments, I actually think he did show a bit more class and a little bit more something. But listen, he was better than Gyokeres, so I'll just put him there. Although I have to say, I think Jesus and Trossard in the same line. Like I think all these players did a bit more. Let's see. What are you all saying on Jesus? Got super chats coming. I've said this in the past. This from ETAFC. Arteta said that Ethan might be a 9. Why not play Ethan up front? He's a crafty, quick, lethal, evasive, and can dribble. He can link. He'll have freedom to. Why not at this point? Yeah. Yeah, at this rate, I'd still go with one of the 9s we've got, and then in the summer, you look at that position again. A lot of you are saying he was really poor, Jesus. I don't think he's as bad as a lot of you are saying. I'm going to stick with not great. I know a lot of you are saying poor, but I just don't see it that way. Madueke, not great. Was he good? Actually, forget it. I'm not going to put him in good. Put a lovely ball across the box. Beat the fullback a few times. Injected some energy. Did nothing wrong. I'm just going to put him in good. Any of you agree? Disagree? Like, he had an impact, right? Not a major one. But I don't think anyone was going to have a major impact the way we were playing. Yep, good. He was. Noni, good. Good. Madueke, good. Not great. Good. Decent. Good. Cool. All right. Cool. Eze. Can't say anything. He didn't touch the ball. Just say not great. Won a foul and he tried to turn McAllister, I think, in central midfield. That was about it. Maybe it was Gravenberch, can't remember. Yeah, not really sure what else to add on Eze there. So for that reason, maybe he was poor. Like, in fact, yeah, actually, he didn't do anything, did he? Like, at least Martinelli did beat his fullback a couple times and try to make something happen. Eze just didn't do anything. What are you all giving Eze? Yeah, poor, 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 did nothing. Poor, didn't kick the ball. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're all right. Okay. Oh, what are we saying for this guy? Oh. This is an error. Sorry, ignore me. Why is it doing this? I'm trying to bring Mikel Arteta in. Okay, it's not letting me bring Mikel Arteta in. Whatever. What would you give Mikel Arteta, basically, people? Not great for me. Like, performance was super lethargic. Had no impact on the game. But I think a lot of that was the players. So yeah, Arteta not great. Weird. Listen. Weird night. Listen to my energy. Listen to how I'm delivering this live stream. I feel so deflated. I feel so tired. Just far from a performance that I think we should be happy about. But I do think we should just keep it moving. Basically, just don't overthink it. We drew. City drew, which does us a favour. Villa drew, which does us a favour. Just keep it moving. We've had a lot of games, whatever. We're into 2 cup competitions now. I think we've got to rotate in both, unfortunately. I know it's a cup semi-final, but I do think we've got to rotate in the Carabao Cup. And that's it. That's it. That's all we can really do. Basically, just chalk it off as a bad day. The players, for want of a better phrase, shit the bed a little bit. Not because they were scared or nervous, just because they didn't handle the occasion very well. And when Liverpool grew into it in the second half, we didn't have any answers. So whatever, we keep it moving. It's like, the situation, the title race is as if we won and City won, and Villa, or as if we all drew, which we did, and we keep it moving, or as if we never played and we just kept it going. It's another fixture chalked off. It's another fixture closer. That's how I'm going to look at it. Look, not one player do I put in the very good or brilliant category, which just tells you everything. And even sometimes, like, we played terribly against Wolves, and I still had Saka in the very good or brilliant category because he made things happen. No one really stood up above the rest for me. In a way in which they can really be particularly proud of their performance. Timber, Saliba, Saka and Madueke just did enough for me to go, listen, thanks for your efforts, really. So we'll leave it there. Thank you for your super chats. Why Arsenal says, is it me or is Timber's crossing poor? Yeah, it is, but I thought it was okay today. The contrast in performance from Mad 1 Press, from our 4-1 win against Villa and in their 11 winning streak is very strange to me. They were arguably a better performing team than Liverpool. Yeah, I hear you. But it can happen. Like they came with a good game plan, Liverpool. We must move Saka left and Madueke to the right, says Jeff Shreves. Imagine if it was the real one. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Big thank you for tuning in. My match reaction's out on Goonerverse News. The podcast with Shroy's out hopefully tomorrow morning. I think it's going to be out. We're going to try to get it out earlier than we normally would. Loose Cannons is out tomorrow. Reaction to the Mark Gahey transfer stuff's on Goonerverse News. There's so much, and I even did a live stream earlier talking about Mark Gahey as well and the David Ornstein stuff, confirming all that. That was a live stream before kickoff today. So yeah, loads of content to sink your teeth into if you do want a little bit more from me outside of just this live stream. I wish Arsenal had given us a little bit more, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. I wish we'd kept our head, but we move. I'm not going to dwell on this performance too much. 6-point lead is still there. We keep it moving. I think we'd all have taken that at the beginning of the week. All right, big thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Do subscribe to the Goonerverse if you want more content. Do like the video if you liked it. Oh, it's a last minute super chat which we'll get in. B-Stack says, why is Martinelli getting shit for his actions? If Roy Keane does that, it's a title winning shithousery. Celebrate the dark arts as the game's gone soft. Don't agree with that, but you can catch my full reaction on Goonerverse News to Martinelli and all that. All right, big thanks. Catch you in a bit.